to be here. I'm Dutch, I'm from the Netherlands. So English is not my native language, it's my second. You apologize, you accept my apologizes when I don't speak properly English, but I do my best. Portugal is my second home, so I have to study Portuguese, I suppose. I have a second home in Portugal because of the beautiful weather. It's always fantastic, and also the fresh air. And that's very important for me, because if I'm coughing a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, you do the same by the way, if I'm coughing a little bit, don't be afraid, I don't have COVID-19. I have something else, a lung disease, and sometimes I have to cough, so don't run away, okay? So it's okay. You're safe. But that's one of the reasons I'm in Portugal, because of the fresh air. I love to be here. And after this session, this morning, this afternoon, I will go back to the Algarve to enjoy the beautiful weather before I return to the Netherlands. So, 20 years ago, exactly 20 years ago, I was here with my sales team of Genesis. At that time, I was President CEO of Genesis, and I brought my sales team, roughly 300 people, to Portugal. And we spent 4 days at the Algarve. And then, to get some cultural inspiration, we went also here to Lisbon. And they still, they talk about it because they never heard about Portugal, many of them, because they came from all continents. But after that, they knew Portugal. And during that session, we were talking about what is the real problem that we are facing in the contact center world at that time. And it's 2003. And it was simple, no waiting time. One call resolution and service with a smile. Now, we call that in Genesis stop customer frustration at that time. I think it's better to call it on the road to excellence because we are still suffering the same problems. We are still facing the same problems as 20 years ago. Despite the hard work, it's still not done. It's a dot on the horizon that is moving ahead of us. Right? So we're not there yet. So there's a long way to go. And what I would like to discuss with you is maybe the solution for many problems is in the technology. Because I am a technology guy. I started 50 years ago. To be honest, 53 years ago, in 1970, selling mainframe computers. Right? That was the first wave, the mainframe computer. Normal people never understood what I was doing. So what is a computer? So I tried to explain, but it was difficult. Then the mini computer came, the second wave, with Unix as the standard operating system. And that makes it possible for companies that develop applications to run these applications on Unix on different machines. Before that time, everything was proprietary. And then it all of a sudden became open. And then in the 80s and early 90s, the personal computer came. That's another wave. And a lot of people were afraid of it. Because for some reason, people are always afraid for something new. Right? That continues. And after the personal computer, the laptop computer, all of a sudden, internet was there. I remember in 1991, I was working for Oracle. I was running Northern Europe. I remember the presentation of Larry Ellison, the CEO of Oracle, about the information highway. What we call now the internet. And it took 10 years between 1991 and 2001 when the internet became a reality. And it changed our world completely. More than we ever could think about. It changed the world completely. And another wave, there was another wave. And that was the wave, the smartphones. I hope you put them off. I left it there, so please do the same. With the smartphones, there was an evolution.
Can you imagine young people, teenagers, without a phone? It's unbelievable. I forgot my phone traveling from Albufeira to here. I forgot my phone, and it was already half an hour on my way. And I said, oh my God, my phone. I have to go back to pick up my phone. We cannot survive anymore without our smartphones. Some people say smartphones are more important now than cars. Yeah. For young people, absolutely. So what's the next wave? The next wave is artificial intelligence. And the previous speaker, I can't speak Portuguese, but I understand that he was talking about ChatGPT, right? And that's the next wave. And a lot of people, it's the same as 1991 with the internet. A lot of people don't realize what this can bring to our world, to our contact center world, right? And I will tell you, at first look at something that's very important, that is the intelligence of computers, computer intelligence, and compare that with in the past with a mosquito, an insect, right? And more recently, maybe 5 to 10 years ago, you can compare it with the brains of a mouse. And now, with ChatGPT 4.0, you must compare the intelligence of computer technology with one human brain. So the IQ of ChatGPT version 4.0 is 114 and comparable with a human brain. Is that scary? Yes, it is. Is it challenging? Yes, it is. How do we deal with this? We don't know. We will see. The future will tell. But be awake. Be awake. Now let's first look at what it means, what it does. Right? First of all, it's so powerful, the technology, that it will adapt to us. It will copy us, our behavior, our way of doing, our hobbies, whatever we do, our work. It will adapt to us. Secondly, when I saw movies in the past, science fiction movies, you saw robots talking, right? And it is a sort of machine voice. And like, okay, you have to go to home. Your wife is waiting for dinner. Right? Something like that, right? And then there's this metal voice, right? You remember in the science fiction. Nowadays, we can use natural voices. You can use your own voice. You can use the voice of John Legend. You can use the voice of George Clooney. Nespresso is doing that. You know the commercials from Nespresso with George Clooney, right? When he is promoting Nespresso coffee. So Nespresso made a test. And they used George Clooney's voice for AI responses. So people call and get George Clooney on the telephone. And you know what? The revenue went up. People like it. People like it. George Clooney. It's not a metal voice. It's George Clooney. Right? You can adapt everything. You can adapt your face. Right? I saw an article of Tom Hanks yesterday. And he said with GPT, with ChatGPT and artificial intelligence, open artificial intelligence, I can be on movies 20, 30 years after I'm dead. They can make a new movie with me. That's what technology does. It's scary, but very interesting. It's very interesting. So, from that perspective, a lot is possible. And you all have Maybe, maybe not, but most of you have, I think, smart devices in their home, right? You can talk to. And don't be worried too much. Because until now, we use ChatGPT just as a Q&A system. It generates